Hello, and welcome to my stamp studio. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. It is week 2 of our farmers market, and I just actually need to get over to my computer here and get to my page so that I can see when people are joining. So it'll just take a moment. I didn't have this set up ahead of time. Sorry, I usually am kind of a little bit more organized than that, but I wasn't tonight. So you know what happens. It's going to be one of those kind of nights, just saying. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to make some really cool projects. Oops, we don't need to hear me twice, right? Got a funny story to tell you while we're crafting tonight. It was kind of appalling to me, but, you know, I look back and it's life. It happens. What are you going to do, right? So, yeah, I'll share that with you as soon as some more people get on here, and just need to see comments. Oh, and my computer's jumping all over. So I have my chair raised too high, so it's knocking my table over. So give me a moment. I felt like I was sitting on the floor before, so I bumped up my chair. All right, there we go. So I bumped up my chair so I could feel like I was sitting up a little bit higher, and now I keep knocking everything. Hopefully I don't knock everything during the whole video, but we'll see. It's a little warm in the studio, so give me a moment. I need to turn my fan on because I might just, it's getting a little warm. And Cooper is playful as ever. I don't know what got into him, but he is all full of energy and he's acting like he's a puppy. He's 6 years old, so he's by no means a spring chicken. But I tell you, he's all sorts of fun tonight. Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Okay, so tonight, farmers market, we are going to be doing some really fun things. We are going to make a card folio. We're going to make some cards to put in that. And then the third project I have is with our note cards. So everything is kind of like cards and kind of making them into little gift packets. Great things to have at a farmer's market, to give as a gift, to make for yourself, or to sell at a craft fair. So my farmer's market, my online farmer's market, is all about things that you can make to give, make for yourself, make to sell. That's all it's about. And if you are one of my email subscribers, and make sure you are, because you will get the project sheets emailed to you absolutely free. It's my thank you for being part of my email subscription. Yeah. And then I do have a special order that you can do to kind of celebrate our farmers market. I'm going to call it my produce special. So I will show you what my produce special is a little bit later on. And I'm just trying to find my notes right here so I can make sure I'm giving you all the right dimensions as we go along. Okay, here's my directions. Here's my nature. Okay, here's my card folio. That's the important one. So I do have quite a bit on my stamp desk here. So it's going to look kind of messy. Sorry, but we're going to be crafting, and we're going to be crafting a lot. So we got to have our mess out, right? So, you know, a clean crafter's desk is a sign of someone who's not crafting. Just saying. It's okay to be messy. I do actually clean up after each project because I have to kind of like refresh and re-energize. And if I have too much stuff out, I can't seem to make my next project. So I'll be cleaning as we go. Not a whole lot, but as we go. My studio right now is in sheer chaos. I've got 2 card clubs I'm working on. Actually, one is done, one is in the progress, and I've got 2 classes to go. One is done and one I'm just creating. Because in September I'm just going crazy. I've decided that I'm going to do 2 classes to go and 2 clubs. So you can do, actually, I think my club is going to be part of this special. So I'm going to have a card club and 2 classes to go. And that's all because my July and August was very consumed with having to support family and do some family things with some family health issues that came up. So my attention was, well, it was where it was needed. So I do have a lot going on. I had my projects all ready to go for August class to go. I couldn't get it out in time. By the time I get home every night, I was just kind of exhausted, emotionally drained. So yeah, it's been a wild couple of months. I feel like I didn't have a summer. It just went by so fast, and yeah, July and August are just a blur. So I want to make sure that I get to enjoy September and October with all of you. So I've got some fun things planned. But let's go on and let's flip down. Hi, Anne. Hi, Beth. And I think I saw Karen joining us. Hi, Amy. And let's see, who else is all there? Carol's with us tonight. So hello, everyone, and thanks for joining me. Let me flip down my camera so we can get started. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes. I'll let you know when to open them. I won't start before I tell you to open them. Promise. And we'll get rid of my ceiling fan because that is not the fun stuff. Okay, you can open your eyes. Oh, I'm going to adjust just a little bit. I need to move my camera off to the side. There we go. Sorry, I'm wiggling a little bit. I feel like I don't have the right light on the situation here. Let's see if that improves. I think that's a little better. Yeah, okay. So let me move my desktop up here a little bit. Had some stuff in the way, and all right. So let's start with some fun things. Let's start with something simple. Let's start with our cards. So I do need this out. I need this out. Oh, I'll need this too. Maybe I don't want to start with the cards first. We're going to start with the card holder first. I've decided that instead. All right, so what we'll need here is, so let me get my pieces. I have them all cut and off to the side here. And we are going to need a piece of, I'm going to be using crumb cake, and this is measured, which was this measured? 3 3/4 by 11 inches. This is going to form our pocket in our card folio. And then for the outside of it, I have a piece that's 6 inches by 10 1/4. And I'm going to bring in my handy dandy scoring tool. Love this thing. It is great for crafting projects. So if you're going to be doing a lot of crafting projects and 3D projects, you really want to have something like this. So this is available in my online store. I will put links to all the products that I'm using tonight in the description, in the comments, and yeah, because I'll be uploading this to YouTube later, so my fans and Stamp Studio group members that are not on Facebook can see everything as well. So, yeah. And then again, if you're part of my email list, you get the project sheets for free, and I'll give you all the information, everything that you need. So there's pictures, there's measurements, there's all the supplies, everything that you need in those project sheets. You'll have to watch a video on how to make everything. But this way you can actually get a head start on some of your crafting projects. So this is, again, is 6 inches by 10 1/4. So we're going to score this at 4 1/2 inches. So right here at 4 1/2. And then we're going to score it at 5 1/2. And why this? Yeah, 4 1/2 and 5 1/2. I just didn't have it slid over far enough. Yep. Okay, why doesn't that look right to me? I lied. This isn't 4 1/2 by 5 1/2. It's 4 1/2 and 5 5/8. Sorry, I want this to be just a hair bigger than an inch because we need this to form our little pocket, just like that. So this is going to be like our book binding, and then we'll have our pocket on the inside. So again, this is 10 1/4. I'm scoring it at 4 1/2 and then 5 5/8. So that's all the scoring for this one. For the pocket piece, now this is the one that's 3 3/4 by 11 inches. I'm going to score on the 11-inch side at 2 1/4, 3 1/4. I'm going to hop on over to 7 3/4, and then 8 3/4. Okay. I'm going to turn it so it's on the 3 3/4 inch side, and I'm going to score it at 1 inch. So my little pocket is going to be 1 inch deep. All right. I won't need this for right now, but I am going to bring that in again. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in my bone folder here, and I'm going to burnish along all of my score lines here. I want some really crisp lines, so I'm giving that a good press. Just like that. Okay. I'll come over on this side and do the same thing. This side. Okay. So So now we're going to make our little pocket out of this. So what we need to do is make our little tabs so that we can fold this in. So I'm just going to take my scissors here and cut along the score line just in these two little spots right here. And what I also like to do is I like to angle it or miter it just a little bit. It makes it so much easier to form your box when you do that. You don't have to, but I'm telling you, it makes it a lot easier. It's a lot less frustrating. And when we're trying to make things quick and in mass, you know, it does make a difference. Because you want these to look nice. You don't want these to fall apart. You don't want these to be lopsided. So take a moment and do that now. Okay. All right. So now we're going to adhere all this together. We're basically going to roll it all together. This is going to be the back of your pocket, okay, where these two sides meet. So I'm going to go ahead, fold this up. Now, you can use liquid glue, you can use tear and tape, you can use seal, just a really strong adhesive, no matter what you do. All right, and I'm going to put even a little bit on these tabs here. All right, I'm going to fold these two tabs right back here, just like that. All right, so I've got that one folded in. I'm hoping you can see that. Then I'll put a little bit more adhesive right here. I'm going to roll this one in, just like that, and give that a good press. And then I'm going to do the same over here. Put that one on. And you're just going to hold it for just a couple seconds, or if you're doing a lot of them, sometimes I'll just do this and I'll move on to my next box and I'll just do my corners and then I'll come back. But for right now, for the sake of the video and getting this done in a timely manner, I'm just going to do this. All right. So now it's okay if that's not perfectly meeting in back. What you want to do now is just take your bone folder and kind of press it down to get that glue all spread around. And what I also like to do, I like to grab one of my blocks. Oh, but not that one because it's got ink all over it. In fact, I forgot to grab my chamois. Sorry, I had to walk away from it. I forgot my chamois, so I couldn't clean my blocks. That would be a challenge. Okay, I mean, not that I haven't had to do that before, but all right. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop my block in there. And I'll just put this off to the side for just a minute. Okay, let's bring back in, put some of my tools away so they're not all over. And next, ooh, my hand was wet. Not good, not good. Okay. Well, just drying off my hands on my pants because I've got a towel. All right, I'm gonna let that dry because I didn't want that to get wet. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna decorate the front then. I have a piece of cardstock here. This is Evening Evergreen, and this measures 4 inches by 5.5. I have a piece of Designer Series paper. This measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now, everything that I'm doing with this project, so these cards and this card folio, I am using the celebration paper that you get for free when you spend $50 in my online store. What is awesome about this is it's free. So buy the tools that you need, the cardstock that you need to do your projects, and get your Designer Series paper for free. There's some really fun patterns in here, and we'll be using quite a few. And because there's so many pretty sides on both sides, I am going to show you ways that you can use it to show off both sides. So yeah, it's quite a bit of paper. So you get 12 sheets of Designer Series paper, and there are 6 different designs, and you get 2 of each sheet. So there you go. So this is called Rings of Love. It is free with a $50 purchase in my online store, and I do have links to my online store. Now, if you are going to purchase something from my online store for during the farmer's market, make sure you use the farmer's market host code, because anyone that's on my email list, you know what I'm going to surprise you with. Just going to say that. So if you're not on my email list, make sure you sign up. Shameless plug for my email, I know, but that's what this one's all about. All right, so then I'm going to layer this on the front. Let's just see if this box is actually dry. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and just do this piece. So on one side we have the trees, on the other side we have this very beautiful like poinsettias. So you could use whichever side. I kind of want to use this because that's why I use the crumb cake. So I'm going to go ahead and take my liquid glue. And again, when you're making your farmer's market or craft fair projects, make sure you use enough adhesive. Don't skimp. This is not the time to skimp, because you don't want your stuff falling apart. Like you get to the show and all of a sudden something's falling off, or you know, someone picks something up and it falls off. And that does happen. It really does. Because people are like, oh, how did you make this? You can't be taking my stuff apart. You want to take it apart, you buy it. Just saying. So another way to avoid some of that is to package your things in cello bags, little Ziploc bags. That way they can't pull it open. But when you do that and you do those packaging, make sure you make your packages special. Tie a piece of ribbon around it. Put a pretty label on it. You know, say what it is. And then you can always leave a sample on a table or on a board. I think the last week of Farmer's Market, I'll show you some displays that I do to show off some of my product. That way they can see what's in there. They can check it out. They can touch it, and they're not going to ruin the ones I have for sale. The ones that are on the board, they're already adhered to the board, so I'm not going to probably end up using them. So, all right, let's get this on here. I am going to actually take a piece of ribbon now, and I'm using our Evening Evergreen open weave ribbon. And I just want a piece that's going to be long enough so I can tie a little bow on the side. So I don't know how long this is. However long this is. I suppose I could measure it for you, hey? All right, let's see. Let's get out the trimmer and I'll measure it. All right. So my trimmer here is just over 12 inches. So we'll say 1, 2. I'm going to go about 30 inches. Yeah, I think I'll go about 30 inches. That will give me more than enough. You don't necessarily have to cut it now. You could cut it later. But about 30 inches. That way I have a chance to tie a nice bow. I can trim off my edges. And you know what? You get 10 yards of ribbon on these bolts. So you get a lot of ribbon. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. So now, because you can kind of see through this, I am going to grab in some mini dimensionals here, and I will put those on my ribbon. Just because I want it to stay in place. This part I'm not so worried about because it's going to be covered up. So I'm not going to be too worried about this, but it's the back. I want to make sure that gets held in place. So let me just make sure I have my ribbon. There we go. All right. I could actually put another piece of paper on the back of here. I don't have an extra piece cut, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to grab my snips here. And I'm going to lift my ribbon and put one right there. There we go. Okay. And you could use your liquid glue. It's going to take a lot longer to dry. You could use your tear and tape, but again, that's going to take longer to dry. I mean, that won't take longer to dry, but these work just fine for what I need. Just make sure your ribbon is straight. Okay. And then I'll put a couple in the front. Again, I'm not really worried about that one because it's going to be hidden. All right, and then when you're making your projects too, keep in mind that you want to have some bling on your projects, and dimensionals are bling. They're inexpensive bling, so keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and put this on. I am going to come in with my dimensionals. So we're going to pop this up pretty good, and we're going to make 4 cards with envelopes for the inside. I might just put a couple more on here just to make sure it's all popped up. But that pocket will hold everything, and really depending on how much you put on there and how far off you've popped up things will really depend on how many cards. You can fit more than 4, but we'll start with 4 and go from there. Okay, so now I've got my outside done here. And now we're going to go ahead and get my inside done. I feel like I didn't cut this piece right. Just doesn't look right to me. Well, it's 4.5. Each side should be 4.5. Yeah, it's 4.5. I don't know. I guess it just must be me tonight. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take my adhesive here, and I'm going to liberally put my adhesive. Again, I want to get close to the edge, but I don't want to have it too thick on the edge because I don't want it gooshing out. But I want to make sure that this sticks, and oh, come on. Now it's really going to stick, right? The glue goobers have come out. All right. So while I'm putting the cards together, I'll tell you my adventures from yesterday. I was kind of mortified. But, you know what happens. And I'm not going to say the word because Facebook, I don't know, always catches me when I say it. Everyone else can say it online, but sure as you know what, if I say those words, I get nailed and I get shut down. Okay, so I'm just making sure I have that lined up, pressing it down. Again, I can take my block and just slide it in there for right now. I can take my bone folder and kind of rub it down in there. Just want to make sure that sticks really well. And then I'm going to put some adhesive right here on the side. Now this bottle is not empty. I don't know why it's clogging, but it is. Okay. So I'm just going to fold that up. Here we go. And if all is good and true in the world, your box will match just fine. But that's the nice thing about liquid glue. You have a moment or two to adjust in case you need to. There we go. And I really should have probably put my bottom flap so I wouldn't see that little mark. So those two should have been on the inside. I kind of reversed what I was going to do, and I don't know why I did it that way. Oh well. All right, so now we can tie our bow and have that closed. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start decorating my cards. And then when I'm done, I'll come over with some leftover pieces and decorate the front of this. All right, so when I was talking to you earlier, I had mentioned that these cards are really made to focus on seeing both sides of the designer series paper. So here is the first card. So now you can see both sides of that paper, and it's really cute. You could put a sentiment in here. You can leave it blank. Totally up to you what you'd like to do. Some customers like to have things already stamped for them so they can just sign it, but some like to be able to write a note. So this would be my card, and let me quick grab an envelope here and we'll stamp an envelope. What did you do again? You know, Cooper, it's too much here, dude. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our envelope. I like to make sure that I actually have it going the right way. And I'm going to take some of my scrap paper here and I'm going to actually put a little strip of paper right here. And actually this isn't quite big enough, but you know, oh, I'll just grab another piece. I'll just grab something from in here. Let's see, is this one wide enough? I want to have that same kind of design, but it's not. All right, let's see what I have here. You know what, we'll use this one. So again, I'm just grabbing one of the pieces I hadn't used. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, that's not really going to match, is it? Here we go. We'll use that piece. All right, because we're going to go this way with it. All right, so I'm going to put liquid glue right around here. Now you can stamp your envelopes, but I'm going to use my designer series paper. And put it right on there, just like that. Line it up with that fold. Make sure I'm all the way to the edge. Give it a nice press, and now I can come back in with my scissors and I can trim it out. Now, if you want to save your designer series paper, then go ahead and stamp on it, stamp on your envelopes. But I tell you what, people really like their envelopes stamped as well as their cards. And that just is a little extra. I mean, you already have the stamps and ink and paper. Go ahead and stamp it. It just adds that little flair. And they're like, ooh, that's really pretty. So here would be my first card. So I'm going to go ahead on this one. I'm going to show you really how to make this layout. And then I'll show you a couple as we go on how to design them. But this is totally up to you. Once you get the basic design, once you have this basic design, you can run with it and go with whatever you have in your craft room. You can purchase stuff from my online store. But use your supplies. And let's go ahead and put this one right inside so it fits my envelope and my card. I need to set this way, I think, to let that dry. All right. Let's just get that set down there. There we go. Okay. I don't need those glue dots. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to get to this one later. My envelopes back over here. I have a pile of stuff over here, so that's why I'm trying to let you know what I have. Okay, so now I'm starting with our rose and gold metallic paper. So it comes 6 by 6. So these are 2 different colors. It's $5 for a pack, and I don't remember how many sheets you get, but you get quite a bit. But we're only using 1/2-inch strips. So we'll grab one more 1/2-inch strip because I know I have 4 cards to make, and I don't know where that piece ran off to. So good thing I had a 6 by 6 piece of paper. So that was 6 by 6. So I just need to cut off a 1/4 or a 1/2 inch there. So it is 5.5 inches long. All right. Then I'm going to put these aside because I'm going to show you how you got those in a minute. I've got 4 pieces of my designer series paper. You can use whichever sides you would like, but these are the 4 that I'm going to be working with. And I've got 4 pieces of 3 3/4 by 5 for the inside of my card, because I want it just a little bit smaller so you don't see that when you have it on the inside. And then I had 4 pieces of evergreen, evening evergreen. So I took an 8.5 by 11, cut it in half. I've scored them at 4 1/4. And now the next thing I do is give a good press here. I'm going to bring back in my, let's put these aside. I'm going to bring back in my trimmer, because now I'm going to cut off 3 1/4 inch from one of the sides. I know, it's a shock. It's a waste of paper. Oh no, we're not going to waste any paper here. Just saying. Okay, so here's my 3 1/4. I just want an inch right there. So this, do not throw away. We're going to be using that. When we're making things for a craft fair and stuff like that, we want to use all of our stuff. We don't want to have a lot of scraps and leftovers. We want to use what we have, right? So now I have this. I'm going to pull in one of my strips here. I'm going to pull in one of my sheets of paper. And I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how I did this one. So I'm going to slide this right to that score line. I'm going to slide right in there just like that. And then I'm going to take my adhesive and run it down right here, or right here, whichever. You can, again, use your Seal Plus. You can use your liquid glue, your tear and tape, just whatever it is. Make sure it's a strong adhesive, because you want this stuff to stick. Oopsie. All right, and you don't really want it to goosh out. I'm going to have a gooshing problem there, but... And welcome to my stamp studio. We use very technical terms here, so get ready for them. All right, so I had the little goobers come out here, but that's okay, because we're going to take this 1/2 inch strip and we're going to put that right there. No one's going to know you overglued. So on this one, I'll try to make sure that I don't overglue. All right, I'm going to get to my edges. Thin little bead. Now it looks like I put a lot on there. I really didn't because it's so thin. All right, and then I'm just going to layer it on there. I'm overlapping my evergreen and my designer series paper just a little bit, but it gives it a little bit of bling, you know? This is not super thick because it's designer series paper, so keep that in mind. Keep it in mind when you're decorating, okay? All right, so now I can actually, we're not going to stamp, we're going to stamp something. I just got to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my fabulous frames dies. Okay, so here's my fabulous frame dies, and I am going to use this one right here. Now I know this doesn't look like an amazing set of dies, but it, you know what, it is. Just wait for it. You're gonna see the magic happen. You're gonna be like, I want that. I'm gonna make you want it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my, and this will fit in our little mini die cut machine. Love that because it's so much easier for me to demonstrate when I'm using this guy. Okay, so we'll use this. And we'll get my plates here. Apologize, it's a house phone, forgot to turn it off. All right, so I've got my base plate. I happen to use my number 3 instead of the number 1. The reason I'm using number 3 is for some reason my machine doesn't like number 1. It's too thick for it or something, and I can't get the rollers to pull it through. So if you're having a problem with that number 1, switch to the number 3. It'll work just fine the same way. It just goes through smoother. I don't know why. Some work perfectly fine. Some have needed to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna put my frame in there and wait till you see this. So this is that piece that I cut off, so I'm not wasting it. And sorry, my table is shaking while I'm doing this. I'm trying to go slow so it doesn't shake too much. And you get this awesome frame, but you also have this right here. You're going to use both pieces. Told you, we're not going to be wasting here. All right, so I've done that with a piece of evergreen, and I've also done that with a piece of basic white. So I have both of these here. And on this card, we're going to grab our evergreen frame. I'm just going to go right there, and we're going to take our basic white, and it's going to fit right inside. Look at that. How awesome is that? Okay, and then this one we're going to be doing the opposite way. So I use that on another card. Okay, so now we need to stamp some things. So what are we going to be stamping, Beth? Well, let me tell you what we're going to be stamping. As soon as I can find a piece of white cardstock, we'll be stamping. Okay, so there's my scrap there. And I'm going to bring in my piercing mat and a scrap piece of paper because I wanted to stamp off on that. And I'm going to be bringing in my soft suede. And, you know, this time that we'll use our Night of Navy. I'm going to stamp a couple of houses, and you can see how they look. And you can say, ooh, I want to use that one. Ooh, I'd like to use that one. All right. I have found, actually, I thought stamping the bottom of the house would be easier to do, and then stamping the top. I don't know why. It wasn't easier for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the roof of my house, and I'm going to stamp it right up here. So I'm stamping it once dark. I'm stamping it once light. See, I'm not even wasting ink. The frugal farmer's market. All right, so now I'm going to take my house. Got that inked up really well, and look how dark that is. Okay, so decide if you want the really dark or the not so dark. I'm going to take both. So I've got it inked up, and now I'm going to look through here, and sorry, I had to put my head in here. I just want to look over the top here and get this lined up. For some reason, like I said, I found I can line it up just a little bit better when I'm doing it this way. I have tried the other way, but I don't know. For me, this works better. All right, so here's what I did the other way. So I think I can fit it on there. So I stamped my house. brought this one back in, and then I tried to look through my block. You know, that's how I always stamp, and stamping it. And I wasn't quite lined up. I mean, you can't really notice unless you point it out, but it just, I don't know, it bothered me. So I switched it around. I stamped the roof first. So instead of building from the floor up, I went from the roof down. Sometimes you just have to think out of the box and go a little backwards. I tie my bows upside down. It just kind of made sense. All right. So then I'm going to cut out these houses. And I'm so fast at fussy cutting that I have them here. Here's one. We'll move this out of the way. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm going to have to fussy cut them because I don't know where they went. I have a whole little bin of stuff that I've already done, so I didn't have to. Oh, they're right here. Two. Okay. And you know what? I think I'm going to cut this one because I kind of like that as well. So we'll just fussy cut that one out. All right. And it's actually pretty quick to do these now. With the designer series paper that came with it, you could cut your houses out as well and just use those. But hey, I have a stamp set. And by the way, this stamp set is called Rings of Nature. I should probably show you the stamp set. I would if I had it. Oh, here we go. Ringed with Nature is a stamp set that we're using. So everything is about kind of this bundle. So the designer series paper that I'm using totally goes with this stamp set. It was kind of designed with that in mind. Stampin' Up! Has their fun little marketing ideas, and this is one of them. So let's see. I don't know which houses I'm going to use, but hey, I've got some cut, and now we're ready to go. I'm also going to be using the coordinating dies with this. So let me show you those dies really quick. I've only got some of them on here because the other ones, they're in process. So we'll be using this, and then I think we'll also be using the hybrid embossing folder. Now this is a hybrid embossing folder that allows you to put your die inside here as well. So what happens is on the side with the Stampin' Up! Logo, you can place this. You just gotta move it around, and then all of a sudden it'll kind of lock in place. That's exactly where you want it, because then what you'll do is you'll put your paper right on top, and you'll run it through your die cut machine just like this. And when it comes out, it's going to be embossed and die cut for you. So I'll show you what those pieces look like in just a few minutes. Okay, let's get back to the cards that we're making, because these are actually pretty quick to make. So like I said, I've already actually cut all my bases, I cut all my strips, I cut all my pieces. And then what I do is I have an assembly line. And that's how I put them all together. But I like to design my card first, and I always have my one in front of me, and then I make all of them that way. So I might like make 5 different ones of these, or maybe 10, depending on how big the craft fair is that I'm at. Okay, and you can put any number of houses that you want. Put your favorite house on there, whatever you would like. I think I'm just going to use the one house. And I'm going to grab a sentiment from here. And I'm going to take... we'll do, you know what, we'll make this one an anniversary card, because I actually need an anniversary card. What is she doing here? I'm just kind of reading some of the comments. Yeah, Amy, so once you get those skills done to train your dog, I think you should come up and visit me and train Cooper. Just saying. Okay, happy anniversary. Where are you? Here it is. Will that fit across there? It sure will. And then, for grins and giggles, because it is an anniversary card, we're going to also use the little heart. So let's get the little heart put on there. Let's get our anniversary on a block. So I am just putting my stamp upside down. I'm picking it up with my block. That way I know it's straight. Grab my mat here. I'll grab this piece of cardstock. Get things kind of out of the way so you can see. All right, and oh, that still isn't very straight. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. And I think we're going to go ahead and stamp this in I'm going to stamp it in soft suede. Right across the top. Again, if I was doing a large number of these, I would have all my pieces, so I do things in steps. So I make all my bases, then I put that aside. Then I do all my die cutting, and then I do my stamping. So it just makes it faster and a little bit easier. But I also have the attention span of a gnat. So a lot of times I don't make a whole lot of projects all at one time. I'll maybe make 10 and then I'll move on to something else. I need a distraction in between each project. I'll come back and make more, but okay. So not really paying attention to comments just because I want to be able to get through all these projects tonight. So I'll come back before we end for tonight and read comments. So now I'm going to grab my scrap piece of paper again. I'm going to take my little heart. So that is first generation, second generation, third generation. I want a very light heart. So we're going to do 1, 2, bring this back in. And I'm going to just do 3. Just like that. Grins and giggles. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 1 right there. And you know what? Put 1 right over there. Okay. Now, if you don't like your house floating, which some people don't, you can take your leftover strip that you had from your die cut right here and just cut a little sliver with your trimmer. There's like a 1/4 inch there. It could be probably even a little smaller. I'm going to put that down first, right along the bottom. I don't know, maybe I have a glue booger in there or something. Okay, put this right along the bottom. Nice and smooth. And then I'll just snip off those edges. Okay. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to assemble our frame. Before I actually put that on, I want to assemble this. So I'm going to fit my piece of paper right inside there, and I'm going to take some dimensionals. But they ran away. Just give me a moment. I'll find them. Here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it so that the dimensional covers both the evening evergreen. Let me zoom in just a little bit here. The evening evergreen and the white. I'm going to do that in several places. I'm going to do my corners first, and then I'll come back. Okay. And put one right down here. One right here. And then I'm going to put 2 in the middle, just to give this enough oomph so it doesn't get kind of squashed when I have it in my little card folio, because I don't want it to have like creases in it. So. All right. Ooh, almost dumped over my little trash bin. What did I do there? Whoopsie. Oh, please, I didn't have this lined up. Okay, in the event that you don't have it lined up, what you're going to do is you're just going to put another piece of cardstock there. Can't believe I did that. Okay. All right, let's just take another little piece. I'm actually going to use this other piece here to measure it so I make sure I have the right length. Next time I'll take a look and make sure I actually fit it in frame, because it does fit very nicely in there. I don't know why or how I got that messed up, but I did. I've made this card like 8 times, so I don't know why I messed up so bad. All right. Okay. So now we'll come back in with our house. And to kind of make it seem like I wanted it that way, I'm going to just slide my house down just a little bit, but I think I'm going to put it up in dimensionals as well. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room on the bottom so that I can slide that in, just like that. All right, now I just need a little something on here. So I can take either my Evening Evergreen Open Weave, or I can pull in my soft sea foam. I think I'm going to use both. So I'm going to grab my ribbon. Right in here. Just make sure your ribbon is flat. It's not twisted. No twisted ribbon. Okay. I'm going to just tie a knot instead of a bow. Okay, glue on the fingers is preventing nice tying of the knots. All right, you all know how to tie a knot, so. Because obviously I'm not challenged tonight. I mean, I am challenged, but it's tying a knot. I don't know what is my deal. I think I should like start over. I don't know what is going on with me tonight. Okay, we're going to start over. It's been kind of a hectic day. But hey, even demonstrators aren't perfect. And I am the last one to claim perfectness. I am not. All right, so I'm going to take my nice snips here. And there we go. Okay, so that's my second card. So let's bring back in our card folio. And I'm going to slide that in. And I'm just going to grab an envelope and put it in with there later. I'm not going to stamp my envelope right now. Okay. So now let's go on to our next card, because geez, that one took forever. Okay, next card. What am I doing? Okay, that was those pieces. Oops, I found a die. Make sure I don't lose that. All right. So I'll do this card. I kind of had them all laid out here so I could do these faster for you, but apparently I'm not very quick tonight. All right, so we've got our base, we got our little bird paper, our 1/2 inch strip. So let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to assemble this together, and voila, it's all together. Woohoo! How fast that went, hey? Okay, so now, oh, I didn't do the inside of that card. Let's come back and add the inside. So let's grab our insides here, and I want to have a little something on the inside, so we'll go ahead and just take, you know, I already cut so many of these out. I'm going to cut one of these houses, and I'll just go ahead and put on some liquid glue. All right, I've like got a little stopper of glue in there. I'm going to zoom back out here. Ooh, that's in, because if I don't do that now, I'll forget. All right, put my little house right there. And if you have a little excess glue, just let it dry before you close your card. Just saying. All right, I might just have to grab a different bottle because this is really irritating. All right. And I'm just going to center that. This way, when I close my card, notice how I won't see that extra white on there. Oh, that was the wrong one. For Pete's sake, Bethan. Hold, please. That's the one I wanted to put it in. Okay, I promise things will get better, because really they can't get too much worse, right? Okay. So since I've got this one kind of, okay, I'm going to have to glue my next card base in. And hopefully I don't make a mistake when I'm stamping on it. So that's usually the last thing I do. I have my stack of insides. I'll stamp them and then I'll put them on the inside. That's usually the last thing I do for each card when I'm doing all these assembly. Okay, so now we're going to use our white frame and our evergreen one here. And this time we're going to make sure that I actually stick it in the inside, not on the outside. All right. So what I'm going to do, grab my dimensionals again. I'm going to actually put my dimensionals here and here first. I'm going to flip it over. I left the backings on there, but I want to make sure that this is going to go in and sit nicely and even. There we go. That's much better. It fits much better now. Okay. So then I'll go ahead and add all the ones along the side here. Nope, I don't want that one there. This one kind of up there. All right. I'll grab the card front and we'll put that right along there. And this time, actually, let's put a little bit of ribbon. We'll make our, I want this ribbon. I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to make a nice little bow. And this is Seafoam seam binding. That's way too much. I was using way too much ribbon there. Now I don't want to pull really hard because I don't want my frame to bend, but I do want to not have my bow flopping all over. All right, my ceiling fan just blew all sorts of stuff off my table. All right, to make the bow just a tad smaller. There we go. That is a nice, pretty bow. And we're just going to trim that. Okay, I trimmed poorly because I was using a non-ribbon scissors. There we go. Now, notice how that's sliding up and down. I'm not going to do it right now, but I will take a glue dot in a few minutes and get that in place. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some of these other pieces that I had mentioned that I had cut out. So when I ran this through the die cut machine, this is what I ended up with. Some of these pieces here. And I'm going to use one of these right in the front. Just going to see what piece. I mean, I have all different sizes to use. Okay. I think that one's a little too big. I think I'm going to use, let's see, that's a little too small. This one I did with some extra layers. I kind of, you know what, I kind of like that tucked right behind there. So on this one, I ran it through with soft suede and with crumb cake, and then there's additional dies. These right here will also cut out like the inside. So if you run it through this way, it'll cut the inside, so you just have that ring on the outside, and that's how I made that. I do have other videos where I showed that. Okay, I'm going to add maybe that right there, and I'm going to grab just a strip here. I'm going to put my sentiment right on there. That might be too small for my sentiment. We'll see. We'll just see how wide my sentiment is. I know I've got leftover strips from all sorts of cutting scraps of paper here. So let's grab out our stamp set. Let's grab a sentiment from here. And this time we will use, you know, I almost think the Get Well Soon will fit just nicely on here. Let's see how the Thinking of You will work on here. Pull this off so I don't have to keep ripping it. There we go. And we'll grab a block. Pick this up. And I think because I have so much Evening Evergreen already, I am just going to be stamping with soft suede. I don't know why you can't. You would think it'd be harder to tie a package on a bow on a package than it would be on a card. I know, isn't that bird stuff really cute? It's such a cute DSP. But then you flip it over too and you have this beautiful side. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I should pop that. Maybe, no, that one's I'm not going to pop up. I think we're going to pop up our little branches here though. Let me just get this cut. Let's see. I'm going to cut it straight here. And then we're going to make a little banner. So we'll go right here. So you can either do this with a punch or you can just do it with your scissors. And when you goof up like that, just go ahead and just reslice again. Come on. There we go. I want to have that in back. This just isn't working like I was planning. All right, let's try our other sentiment. So this was Get Well Soon. We'll try that one. Kind of have a hot mess going. I'm getting a little distracted here. My little pieces in here so I don't have them floating all over the place. There, that's looking so much cleaner now, isn't it? Pull my dimensionals back out. Okay. So we're going to take our little snips right here. And let's try maybe moving this up a little bit. And just put this right down here. There we go, that'll fit nicely. Okay, let's put this on with some liquid glue. I'm just kind of going around there with my liquid glue. Let's slide that in. And I just really glued the center. I'm letting this kind of curl up a little bit. That's fine. As long as my center is glued, I'm actually going to even curl up these edges a little bit. Amy is all over the explanation. Thanks, Amy. I'm not thinking very clear these last couple of days, so it's been another rough day, so. All right. But I'm enjoying my time here with all of you, so I don't really want to talk about my rough day. So I'm just going to slide this one in here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pull in one of the other ones. So I'm going to slide that one up here. Right in there. Maybe I'll just slide that right underneath my bow. Yeah, I like that. That'll work. Okay. So this one I'm going to have to add some dimensional right here because it's sitting on top of this frame that has dimensionals, but I only want it on that one. So I'm going to take a mini dimensional here and we'll just put it on that leaf. Hopefully I got that. There we go. And then I'll take my liquid glue Okay, I'm going to really have to go grab another one. I'm going to slide that right underneath, and then I can push that down. All right, this one I'm just going to glue. I could use glue dots, but good. All right. Okay. All right, so that is our next card. So now we've got 3 cards done for our card folio. So you get the idea. So you're doing the same design, you're just adding a different front, but really the card base is still all the same. I do want to do this Christmas one though. And, oh, I forgot to add bling. We'll come back in and we'll add some bling. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to use champagne rhinestones or these. So that's why I didn't add the bling yet. But we're going to add some bling and then we'll go on to our next thing. Okay, so this again. This one I didn't have done ahead of time because I've been playing around with it all day. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with it. All the other ones I had done the other day. Right, press that down. Get my strip here. All right. Now, oh, I know what I was doing with this one. I was debating. So I like this right here, but I think I want to do a couple things. Let me move some of my stuff out of the way because I need to find some of the things already cut. And I'm looking for, if you happen to see it, yell out. I'm looking for my vellum squares. I just put some things away, they'll pop right out at me. All right. So here's my circle, here's my square, and then this one. Okay. So my initial thought was to have this behind here like that, but I don't know if that's the way we're going to go. We're going to see just a moment. Let's go ahead and cut out a vellum circle and bring in the die cut machine again. Right here. And then my plates, which I tend to put off to the side. Where did I put them? Oh, right back in their home, right where they should be. So I have a little cart that sits right behind me, and oh, I got glue on my phone now. Oops. That should be fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut this circle out. You've seen me cut before. All right, so this is circles from the Stylish Shapes. It has a little stitching. I originally wasn't going to use it because it went on back order the other day, but I really didn't feel like designing a whole nother card, so we're using that. It should be back in a couple weeks, but otherwise use your layering circles. All right, so we have this and we have this. Now, next thing I do is going to take a piece of scrap white again, and I'm going to stamp with 2 different colors of red. I'm going to use Sweet Sorbet, and I'm going to use Poppy Parade. You tell me which color you like best. I knew which one I was planning on, and then I'm like, ooh, but you know, this color even looks so much better. So this is going to be Sweet Sorbet. I'm going to see if I can get 3 of them on here. Okay, that's Sweet Sorbet. Let's get that cleaned off. And now let's bring in our Poppy Parade. Oop, that one went off just a little bit. Okay. All right. Inquiring minds would like to know which you like better. So here's our designer series paper. which flowers do you like better, Sweet Sorbet or Poppy Parade? The Poppy Parade is just a hair darker. So I'll bring this up to the camera so you can see it better. All right. Give me just a moment while I clean off my stamp here and the bottom one. Okay, the Poppy. Sweet Sorbet, I got one of each. Okay, someone has to be the tiebreaker. Okay, Poppy Parade wins. Okay. Let's pull back in our pieces. So we've got our Evening Evergreen, which was right here. So this is the piece that we originally cut off. We need to cut this down a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square. Yeah, maybe I'll make it a rectangle. So let's see, I had 3 1/4. Let's go to 3 3/4. Let's see how that will look. Okay, I'll put this on. Oh, I'm almost thinking maybe I don't like that on there. All right. We're going to use this piece then to do some die cutting. And we're going to pull in our dies. And these are the tree ring dies. Now this actual stamp set is going to be my card club for next month, for September. I'm going to go ahead and show you a little sneak peek on those cards. And what Card Club is you, for $39, I will send you a card kit that contains all the pre-cut supplies for 8 cards with your envelopes. You will need your stamps and your adhesive and your own dies. Whatever die cutting comes with the bundle that I'm featuring, I don't include. But everything else, like I would include that circle, everything else will be included. I give you all sorts of extra product in that. You'll get about $20, $25 in product each month. It varies on what it is. And I'm going to give you a hint. It may be some of this paper. Just saying. Just saying. It is a really cute class. And the cards are easy enough that you can step them up if you'd like, or you can make them as is and give them out. So if you need cards done quickly, it's a great way to have some cards. What's nice about it is because you're making 2 of each one, you will get to keep one and send one, or maybe you want to send both. But you have all the directions. I email you the PDF directions. So it has a list of your supplies. It has step-by-step instructions and a color photo of the card. All right. So again, shameless plug. Got to do that. Okay. So one thing too, when you're doing this like I do for a business, you can actually sell your classes online, and you can sell them at farmers market or a craft fair. Okay. I'm gonna hurry up and do these. I'm gonna cut out the flowers real quick, and oh, lo and behold, I have them cut out. Okay. I only have 2 poppies cut out. We're gonna use 1 Sweet Sorbet then, because I thought I had 3 poppies and I don't. All right. So maybe we'll kind of offset those 2. Put the flowers on here. Pop that. Maybe I won't even need that flower. Maybe we can just stick with the poppy flowers. And so I'm just going to start designing. So this is where you still get to have some creativity and some playtime. So you know what you're designing. And once you make the first card, oh, then you're ready to rock and roll. You can whip these out. But I like that it has a coordinating card holder. I think it just is a nice feature. We can add that one, maybe right down at the bottom. Let's see, I need a little sentiment, and this keeps popping up. So I need a little Merry Christmas here. So where's my Merry Christmas? Here's my Merry Christmas. Here we go. Merry Christmas. We'll put that right across the middle. All right. So I'm going to decorate this thing first. So I'm just going to take some liquid glue and peel off the little glue booger. That's where I keep, like, I get the glue booger on my hand and I touch my phone or touch my iPad. Foolish of me. I even bought a little stylus. Sorry, I just gave up on that one. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. I even bought a little stylus pen that has the little cushion for the background, so I wouldn't keep doing that. And I forgot it over on the other side of the room. So put one here. And we'll just put this one right here. And I think we'll, let's see, because I'm going to have this coming off right there in the middle. That's going to be my focal piece, not my flowers. Oh my goodness. So now this one comes gushing out. Can't win today. Nope, nope, nope. Just can't win. We have to really tuck that one underneath because that glue is going to be everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. We'll put this up on dimensionals. Tie some ribbon around the front. Okay, there's my front. Now, I could actually put it right on top of the vellum or just off. I kind of like it a little bit off. Now, the other thing I did was I actually stamped on the vellum. So I took the tree rings here and I stamped it with crumb cake. And that's originally what I was going to use. But you really can't see it, and I don't know that it really enhances it by having it stamped on there. So we'll save it for a different project. I think just like this will be fine. All right, let's get our ribbon wrapped around here. And so we'll use our open weave ribbon. And then we'll finish up our card folio and get on to our next project. Because our next project actually is my produce of the week. So it is a special offer that I am going to make available for all of you. You will need to be on my email list so I can send you the sign up link for it. I can't post it on social media or on my website, so it does have to be sent in the email. And that's just Stampin' Up's policy. I don't have control over that. Okay. So I'll put this over. Now I can either put it on the outside edge here, which it doesn't want to slide over. And the edge right there. Now, with my vellum circle, glue will show through the vellum. So what I'm going to do is just figure out where I'm going to put this. And I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. So we'll grab 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lay it right where about I want. I'm not going to push it down because I don't want it to set on top of the, oh, it blended up perfectly. I was going to say I don't want it to, there we go. Okay, and let's get our inside. That doesn't look like it's the right size. That's because it's not. There we go. That's much better. All right. And we're going to take these two pieces that we have. We're just going to put them right in there like that. Okay. And then we're going to come back and we're going to embellish all the cards. Finish our card folio. And that project will be done. All right. Okay. It's okay if it's sticking up a little bit. It's kind kind of like a sticker. Normally I would have that very straight and flat, but I'm not too worried about it because that ribbon's there. It's going to kind of pop up that card a little bit anyways. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's add our embellishments now. Put some of this other stuff away so it's not in our way for our next projects. Oh, well, that don't work well. Alright, I just need to pick up all my dies here so I don't lose those. Slide them back in here and I'll put them away later. Alright. Okay. Almost done with all of these so I can get to my stuff here and just need to put my stamps away. Probably should clean them first as I'm doing it too. So let me zoom back out a little bit. Hopefully I wasn't really out of the video when I was doing that one. I did that the other day too and I didn't mean to. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just putting my stamps back in their case, right where they belong. So it's not really anything to watch. It's just me putting it away. Dust cover on there. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's bring out the cards. Let's put our card folio here. We need to decorate our front. But let's get all of our embellishments on. So, do we go with... No, I have not found my hello stamp or block. I have no idea where it is. I'm sure it's here somewhere. I'm sure I'm like, oh, I forgot to put that away. I'll just put it here for safekeeping. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it. Hi, Becky. Okay, the life of a stamper. All right. And the reason I thought about these is just because, you know what, I'm going to put it right in the center of the flower. That's going to look pretty. I felt like it kind of went with the... Yeah, I kind of felt like it went with that brushed metallic paper. Okay. So this one... I'll put one here. I'll put another one right here. Okay, so there we go. Let's get some on here. And this one, I'm going to do 1, 2. I kind of thought that was kind of cute. And I'm going to put one down here. Okay. And then this one. I think out of all of the cards, this is probably my favorite. I'm a corny kind of girl. I'm a corny kind of girl. All right, so let's go through a little 4 cards in our little card folio. So just a different, I don't think I have my screen up far enough. I guess that's as far as it's going to go. So let me try doing it this way maybe. All right, so our Christmas card. And it's always nice to see that pretty designer series paper on both sides because sometimes it's really hard to choose, right? So now we'll take these and we'll have our 4 envelopes. So I'll show you that it can all fit. So again, I would take my designer series paper, I would put it on the flaps or at least stamp my envelopes. But it just makes it more of a finish, like stationery when you have that in there. And so now we'll put this right in here. We'll slide these in. And depending on how much stuff you have on your card will depend on how many cards you can fit in there. We'll go ahead and tie this closed. And then we'll decorate our inside there. And again, my ribbons are really pretty long, but if people are going to tie and untie this, it's going to get frayed. So I'm going to leave it nice and long. All right, so let's get our front decorated. And maybe that's when I'm going to use this. Let's see what else I have here. I've got some of this. And one of these. And you know, what's really cute on this paper are these little mushrooms. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to trim out these little mushrooms. So I'm just going to go right here. Now you could stamp it and die cut it. We do have a mushroom in there that has dies. But I have this really pretty paper right here. So go ahead and cut this a little bit. Then I'm going to come up with, I don't know, maybe one more thing to put on there. Now you can fussy cut as close to the image as you want. I don't mind leaving a little bit of white. So if we have that and that there. Oops. Again, sticky fingers, and I don't have my stuff over here. Okay. Let's see, we'll add, here's another one over here. Okay, I need something a little more on there. Let's see, what else we have here? All right, we've got these couple leaves I can cut out. So instead of throwing my scrap out, I can get some little design out of it. Again, all about being frugal when you're doing your crafty projects. You want to make sure your stuff goes a long way. I kind of like that butterfly, so I'm going to see if I can cut out the butterfly too. Again, I'm just turning my paper as I cut so that I can get some nice rounded corners in there. All right, so I've got this. And now let's get that butterfly. It's going to be really fun to cut out those little antennae, but we'll see how it goes. I still have more of that paper. I mean, another scrap of it, but you can cut out as much as or little as you'd like. What I really just wanted to show you was that project. So it is definitely a good seller. Like I said, people like to be able to give cards as a gift. There we go. So I think that's how we're going to decorate it. So I'm just going to slide my vellum circle off, and I'm just going to start assembling. I'm probably going to pop some of these up on dimensionals, but for right now I'm going to put my adhesive on my circle here, and then I'm going to try and cover those a little bit. Press it down. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add my liquid glue right there. We'll slide that in kind of underneath my bow. Okay. Now let's add some dimensionals on these things here. We'll grab our little mini dimensionals, close our glue, and that's what I love about these mini dimensionals. There's tons on this sheet. I mean, these sheets last for a very long time. And I use a lot of dimensionals. Just saying. Okay. And we'll put our mushrooms on first. Can you all see that okay? Or do I need to zoom in? I hate to zoom in just because I forget to zoom out. Okay. All right. So that is our card folio and cards. And I think we'll just put Thinking of You right at the bottom. Good thing I had that already done. Kind of worked out nice. It's like I planned it, right? Love when things work out like that. All right, we'll just kind of tuck it under that leaf. There we go. There. How nice is that? Okay, so then, like I was talking about packaging up. Let me just grab, I have little Ziploc bags here. And I got these on Amazon. I also have some clear ones. I have like a little zipper pouch on it. Or not a zipper pouch, a clear strip, adhesive strip that you can peel off. But I was rearranging in my room and I don't know what I did with them. So these would be the ones I would end up using. So I would put it in here, just like this. And I would actually fold it over like that so it was all in place so someone couldn't go through it. I would put my label on the back with the price on the back. So you'd have a label with your branding and your little price there. That way it's closed, your pieces won't fall out, but it won't get damaged either. So people won't be able to bend the corners and things like that. Okay, so now let's get a sip of water here. Whoops, I forgot a stamp. Okay, let's get my stamp put away. Because now we're going to use a different stamp set. Because I can't wait to show you this. So this is one of those things that people don't always notice in the catalog. And these are our craft note cards. So what's special about the craft note cards, you ask? Oh my gosh, you get a little gift box with it. So you get 20 envelopes and 20 note cards. So you can make 20. But the envelope or the little box that comes with it probably can only fit 5 or 6. It depends on how much you put in there. But let me bring this out. So this is kind of, this is a special offer that I'm offering, and this is going to be, what did I put it as? $40. So I will have a link for this. It will be a registration link, so you'll, basically what you're going to do is you're going to give me your email address so I can send you the link to purchase this. Whoopsie. Let me see if I can raise this up a little bit so we can be more in. Oh, that's not the raising. Hold on, sorry. There. Okay, I just feel like I'm not in frame with the whole thing. So what you get with this is you get your 20 note cards and envelopes. I have it open because I'm going to show you how to make this craft box. So I'm going to pull that out. You will get a quarter pack of the Hostess designer paper. So there's 12 sheets, 12 6x6 sheets. You'll get a pack of resin hearts. Yes, I've been using these, so these don't qualify. You'll get a brand new pack. You'll get some linen thread, a whole bolt of linen thread. And I also will include 10 pieces of basic white that is cut to be 3 inches by, sorry, 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So that will perfectly fit on the inside of your cards here. So let me just pull one out and I'll show you. Oh, actually, I have my little cards already made here so I can show you. You will also be getting this tutorial from me. Where did I put these cards? Oh, for heaven's sake. Oh, here they are. Right where I needed them. You'll be getting the tutorial on how to make these cards. So, if you don't have this stamp set, you don't have to, but it is an adorable stamp set. It's called Glad We're Friends. You can also add that to your order if you would like. And then, but I will give you the directions on how to cut, what to cut for all of these. I'm not going to be including any die cut pieces. That will be for you to have. But these pieces will fit inside. So basically this is just including $40 of product. Well, with shipping, handling, and everything else. So it's just a little extra deal. You get an extra tutorial, you get a couple extra pieces of cardstock. You get some of that designer series paper. Otherwise, the only way to get that designer series paper is when you host a party. And hosting a party would be collecting orders of $150 or more, and then you'd be able to purchase those through Stampin' Rewards. But here is the cards. This was originally going to be my August card club, but again, I failed to get my marketing out. So with all the events happening in our lives, I just couldn't do it. So you're gonna get all the information on how to make all those cards. Aren't they cute? Look at that. Look at how cute that little stamp set is. I just love it. But this is the designer series paper that you're gonna be getting with it. All right. So let's go on to the box that comes with it. So this is our project. What I love about this is the box is already die cut for you. It's already scored for you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is assemble it. So I'm going to show you how to assemble it. So what you need to do first is burnish at all of these scores, okay? Then this piece here is going to fold like that. You're going to fold in these tabs, just like that. So I do the two sides first, just like that. Because what's going to happen now, when you get to this side here, this piece is going to fold over, it's going to fold in, and it's going to catch those other corners. So I just need to turn that. See how it's catching that? So you don't necessarily have to use any glue. So now this way is the same way. This piece is going to fold. This one's going to fold in. And now this is going to be your card, the base of it. So you won't even be able to see all the little folds that were in there. So it's a nice finished bottom for you. Okay. All right. Now we've got this one. And this one again, we're going to burnish, whatever, at every fold. I've done most of those. Let me get these over here. Okay. So again, these are the tabs on the side. So these tabs are going to go in. You're going to fold. Oh, I didn't do this side here. Key to having a bone folder or something that you can burnish with, because you really do need to do that. All right, so this is going to go down just like that. Same thing with this side. You'll fold in just like that. You'll definitely want to watch the video again when you first get it. The first time I did it, I'm like, how the heck do you put this together? It took me a little bit. All right. So now again, you could actually put some adhesive down to hold those in place, but you don't need to. So now you're going to wrap this side in, and you push that down, and when you push that down, it pushes those two sides out. Come over here, same thing, pushing that in, pushes those sides out, pushes that out, and this is actually the bottom, and this is your top. Let's see how many we can fit in there. So I've got these 4 here. Oh, wow. That's not bad because I don't even have the envelopes in there yet. 4, 5. Let's see if I have some more to put in there. 6. I bet if you turn them different directions, you could fit them all in there. Okay, so I've got 6 in there. So let's grab the envelopes and let's see how many envelopes we get in there then too. I bet you could fit probably 10. Just my thinking. All right. Depending on how much stuff you put in there. Now, I'm going to warn you though, with these envelopes, you can't put a whole lot in there because otherwise these won't slide in. So whenever you're using the note cards and stuff, you have to kind of limit how high you pop things up so that you can just slide those in. All right. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there was 6 cards. Here's 6 envelopes. Oh, I can still fit more in there. So yeah, I think you could probably easily get 10 cards and envelopes in there. Okay. And then all you had to do is really take some ribbon and tie it around. You could put some designer series paper on the front of this box. I'm not going to do that because I need to use this for a different class. So I'm not going to do that right now. But put some of your designer series paper. You get enough of this paper that you can decorate it. So you can use 2 different pieces. You get 2 of each one. So there'd be enough to decorate this box. Or just put some ribbon on it, or just actually just put it right on the front. So if you had this right on the front, and then you took your basic white here, stamped it with a sentiment, and tied a bow on it, how cute would that be? All right. So again, if you want this kit, this is $40. It does not come with any die cuts, so it comes with the 12 pieces designer series paper, the 10 pieces of basic white, and it will come with a full pack of note cards and envelopes with that box. And then you get your resin hearts and your linen thread. And make sure I didn't forget anything else in that. And the printed tutorial. So I'll actually even print the tutorial. I'll put it in here and send that to you. And that's usually something I don't do. I don't usually print the tutorials, but I will print them and include that with this. So thanks again for watching our second week of Farmers Market. Hope you enjoyed the things tonight. I will have project sheets mailed out by this weekend. I will put a link to register for this little card kit that I can put in the comments and in the description for the YouTube video. So just let me know. The deadline for this one is next Wednesday. So this offer, my produce offer for the week, is good from tonight until next Wednesday. And I'll make sure I put the link out there tonight. I just need to go and grab some dinner and then I'll come and put it back. So let's see, the last day that you can purchase this will be on the 31st of August. It'll have to be by no later than 9 p.m. Central Time so that I can get everything ordered in time. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. Oh, the other thing I want to share with you is our, the card kit for September. I'm going to open this registration up early. So this is the Studio Club, and I'm going to show you the cards real quick. You're going to get some embellishments. You're going to get the little product kit to make 8 cards, 2 of each. You're going to be getting a pack of blends, and then you're going to be getting a quarter pack of this designer series paper. I have 20 kits available. That's all I'm going to have. So here are the cards that you'll be making. You'll be getting printed instructions. You'll be getting the envelopes and everything else you need. All the die cutting will be done except for these right here. That has to be purchased in the bundle. If you want to make the cards exactly like they are, you'll need to grab that bundle. Otherwise, you can use the stamps that you have at home and the colors that you have at home. But I'll make sure I list all the colors that I've used. I really try to keep it to a minimal amount of different colors for stamping so that you don't have to have as many supplies. So thank you. Take care. Have a great weekend. Oh, don't forget, tomorrow night is our paper pumpkin party. Yes, I'm actually going to do it tomorrow night. And here are the cards. I actually dove into the kit and I actually came up with some ideas, alternatives for you that aren't even using the stuff in the kit, just the stamp set and the stamp, or the stamp set and the colors. So thanks. Join me tomorrow night for Paper Pumpkin. Totally casual. Come in your jammies and let's stamp the night away. Take care.